Hello and welcome to the podcast. I'm Ashwin. This is Vijendra, and today we have with us Tadam.
Hi,
Hello,
Tadam.
hello.
Hello.
Tadam, what have you been doing today?
Yeah, why are you late?
I was having lunch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'm a little late. Before that, before having my lunch, I did a little bit of inking on one of my pages, like on a comic page. उससे पहले call था, बस that's it.
Sunday वैसे.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, it's Sunday. I
No
keep
Sunday,
forgetting it's Sunday.
like no Sundays for like freelancers. So,
अच्छा, वैसा क्या?
So, Tadam, what's the first comic book you remember reading?
I remember reading Soja Nagraj from Raj Comics. That was drawn and written by Anupam Sinhaji, and that was the comic book that got me into all of this comic book thing.
Shouldn't we give an intro to Tadam?
Right. You want to start?
Yeah, sure. Tadam is. I have no idea who Tadam is. Tadam is a comic book artist who has worked on many Indian comic book properties and worked for many Indian comic book studios. I know him from his work for Holy Cow Entertainment, for which I have written. And I think he's also drawing stuff for other studios. Tadam, can you tell us who you are working with right now?
Actually, I'm working exclusively for Holy Cow Entertainment at the moment. So no other studios, that just Holy Cow.
So the project that you were just mentioning, you were drawing earlier today was also for Holy Cow?
Yeah, it's called WOME, WOME. That's Weapons of Mass Destruction, Mass Extinction. It's written by Bijoy Ravindran, my partner in crime with on Codename Alpha for Yali.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You also done some stuff for Yali, right? Which is Codename Alpha, I think.
Yeah, I did Codename Alpha Volume 1 for Yali, and that was kind of like an outsourcing work from for Yali through Holy Cow. Yeah.
Right.
So that was Tadam's work. And now
also,
after asking him.
Also, I think I should mention, like, along with being a comic book artist, I'm also a big comic book fan. So, I keep reading all the stuff.
Right.
I think that should also go with my introduction. Yeah.
That goes without saying. I don't think there is anyone who's drawing comics who does not read comics. But yeah. Tadam has a very fascinating origin story with respect to like all the career options that were open in front of him, but he did not go for it. He decided to become an artist, and right now he's just pursuing it.
You want to talk about that briefly? You want to tell us very briefly
your origin story. Your origin story. How did this begin? How did this madness come to be where it is right now?
Well, जैसा अश्विन के like first question में बताया था मैंने, like it all started with Soja Nagraj, but before that I remember having मेरी एक दूर की नानी जी थी, उनके बच्चे जो थे वो कॉमिक्स पढ़ते थे, तो आई रिमेम्बर अग्निपुत्र अभय या ऐसा करके एक कैरेक्टर था,
डायमंड का था।
या आई डोंट नो व्हिच पब्लिशर, क्योंकि तब मेरे को पढ़ना नहीं आता था, तो आई जस्ट रिमेम्बर लुकिंग गोइंग थ्रू पिक्चर, उन्होंने जो कॉमिक्स पढ़े हुए थे, दे लाइक गेव अस अ फ्यू ऑफ दोज इश्यूज, तो मुझे याद है कि I used to flip through those books. I remember Bankelal as well, but I didn't know his name. अब जब मैं recall करता हूँ तो imagery से मेरे को लगता है कि it must have been Bankelal. तो Bankelal and Agniputra Abhay I remember. हाँ, उसके बाद my first comic book that I read and bought was Soja Nagraj. So उसके बाद this whole comic book thing bit me and I became a comic book fan, and but drawing was like happening before that as well. ड्राइंग तो बहुत बचपन से करता था मैं, तो since comic books are like very visual heavy medium, so instant connection हुआ, and I started drawing and copying all the artworks that I've seen in that comic book. So yeah, वहीं से शुरुआत हुई, and I never stopped drawing then. Yeah.
Agniputra Abhay is by Diamond Comics, and it was actually very well written also. Like even by today's standards, it was quite well written. There was a guy called Abhay who was an acrobat or something, and an agent of some sort, and he had a motorbike. And Agniputra was this mystical character who he could summon whenever problems got out of hand and everything. So his power was that he was an acrobat and martial artist. Agniputra had more magical powers.
Okay, okay. Yeah, sounds interesting. Too bad I
You
couldn't
read
read
it.
that time.
You
No,
read.
I
Acha,
didn't. I
acha.
didn't read
You
it.
only
I
saw
just
it.
flipped through the images and all that.
I
तब मेरे
remember
को
I was
पढ़ना
in
नहीं आता था.
standard 6 when it came out.
Mm-hmm.
So you must
Okay.
have been even younger. Yeah.
Yeah, I was. I couldn't read that time though.
Yeah, I guess.
It's very interesting how you guys have a very North Indian approach to comics. In Bombay and down south, we didn't have all these comics at all. The most comics I had was maybe 20 comics, like all of my childhood, which I recall. That's it. I don't.
I actually didn't have. It's like, for example, I don't know what Tadam's situation was. I got all my comics from my classmates, and they got all their comics from, like they hid them in their school bags and brought them to school. And in games period, hiding under a tree, we used to read a comic, stuff like that. I didn't actually own much.
Right.
Yeah, my situation was similar only. Like, मेरे पास भी बहुत सारी comics थी नहीं. सोजा नागराज was the first one. उसके बाद मेरे को बहुत महीने wait करना पड़ा था to like have my second comic book and read it. I had a friend in my village. Like actually वो friend इसीलिए बना था because he had comic books. तो उसके पास कुछ 7-8 comics थी. तो मैंने उससे दोस्ती कर ली. मेरे को कहीं से पता चला कि he has comic books and he तो उनको पढ़ने के लिए and उसको बहुत मक्खन लगाना पड़ा उस पे. मेरे को बटरिंग करनी पड़ी. तब जाके he gave me like his least favorite comic book जो थी तिरंगा एंड भेड़िया की घातक जंगल करके थी. तो हाँ, तो वो वाली
This
उसने
must
मेरे
have
को
been
दी. और
after you became capable of reading.
yeah, I think I was in
because this
class.
one came after Agniputra bhai.
Yeah, I think I was in class 4 or 5 तब. और हाँ, तो उसने मेरे को वो दी एंड ऐसे भी नहीं दी कि जा पढ़ ले तू फिर वापस कर दियो. ही asked me to buy it. और वो बाकी कॉमिक्स बेचता भी नहीं था. बस उसने वही वाली बेची एंड ही टुक लाइक वो 16 रुपए की कॉमिक थी शायद या 20 रुपए की. और उसका कवर फटा हुआ था. लास्ट के एड पेज मिसिंग थे. उसने मेरे से 15 रुपए लिए उसके.
Okay.
हाँ.
What
Yeah.
a friend.
So,
What are friends for? To charge you money for comic books. I had a friend who used to come to my house looking really fat. And once my parents were out of the picture, he used to like lift his shirt, pull out a bunch of comics like this big and give it to me. Here, read it and give me back when you're done. Like he really wanted me to read stuff. So he used to give me stuff. Yeah.
You have been lucky in that front. मेरे दोस्त लोग तो
पैसे लेते थे.
हाँ, but yeah, one thing that is like very similar is वो यहाँ पे हाँ शर्ट के नीचे कॉमिक डालना was like हमारे उधर भी होता था.
Yeah. Ashwin का childhood बहुत traumatic लगता है देखो, but actually he had more access to stuff than we did. We were drawn to comics, like we were the bane of comics. He's the Batman of comics.
Yeah.
I had 20 comics all my childhood. I don't know what Batman you're talking about.
I definitely read more than 20 comics throughout my childhood, but I didn't have any of them.
Yeah, me same with me. I read a lot of comic books, but मेरे पास भी कहने को सिर्फ 4-5 comics ही थी.
It's nice
So,
it's nice that you'll have a very Hindi origin in comic books versus me, who actually didn't have all of this. I just had the English comics, which is Batman and Superman, and maybe a Spiderman or something. That's it. I didn't have any other comics.
एक interesting चीज जो I would like to share is like Gotham Comics तब मेरे वहां भी जाती थी. तो I saw Gotham Comics जहां से मैं मतलब वेकार राज कॉमिक्स खरीद लिया करता था बीच में. तो he had like the stacks of Gotham Comics, a lot of them. तो I don't know, मेरे को राज कॉमिक्स पढ़ते हुए इतनी आदत हो गई थी कि I did not actually like जो Gotham Comics आए थे.
Yeah.
हाँ, I remember buying कोई Marvel Knights की का इशू था जिसमें Punisher was like holding a big gun like this. Gotham Comics में एक कवर था. तो वो वाला मैंने खरीदा था. That was quite cheap also. 15 rupees का था शायद whole issue. तो मैंने उसको पढ़ने की कोशिश की. इंग्लिश तब इतनी अच्छी नहीं थी. समझ में नहीं आता था. डिक्शनरी की मदद से पढ़ने की कोशिश की. I don't know, the artwork just didn't suit me. Like इतना डार्क था एंड ऑल दैट. राज कॉमिक्स का बिल्कुल लाइट एंड कलर्स आर सो वाइब्रेंट एंड ऑल दैट. उसमें इतना डार्क था. बाद में पता चला कि रियल चीज तो ये है. एंड
I wonder if that art has affected your current the way that you draw your art. Has that bright colors inspired you, or are you a little more inspired by what Marvel and DC are doing?
Actually, initial days में तो like Raj Comics का artwork has inspired me a lot और अनुपम जी का काम मैं बहुत कॉपी करता था तो मेरा शुरुआत का काम अगर देखा जाए तो I think it looked a lot like his work. फिर उसके बाद लाइक थोड़ा सा और आर्टिस्टिकली मैच्योर हुआ तो आई स्टार्टेड लुकिंग एट वेस्टर्न वर्क एज वेल तो वहां से भी अब काफी सारा इंस्पिरेशन लिया है तो नाउ आई एम ट्राइंग टू लाइक इनकॉर्पोरेट ऑल दोस एलिमेंट्स एज वेल फिर यूरोपियन कॉमिक्स भी डिस्कवर करी मैंने तो वहां से भी थोड़ा सा वो मतलब चोरी करने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ.
Right.
No, but your work, like if you had to credit one person or one style for your work, for all the influence that is visible in your work, would you actually point at something specific?
I don't think I would be able to like
Okay.
initial days में like I I think मैं कर सकता था जब मैं बिल्कुल स्कूल में था and I was drawing because तब all time favorite artist and writer was Anupam Sinha ji. He still is like I really love his work but तब actually थोड़ा सा जो दायरा था मेरे कॉमिक्स का and all that तो वो बहुत limited था तो yeah तब I was like very heavily inspired by his work फिर उसके बाद बाहर का देखा तो एंड
अच्छा.
ऑल्सो आई फील कि हमें किसी एक आर्टिस्ट को ही सिर्फ इंस्पिरेशन बना के या वो एक टेम्पलेट बना के नहीं चलना चाहिए वी शुड एज आर्टिस्ट वी शुड ऑल लाइक लुक एट ऑल टाइप्स ऑफ वर्क एंड जो भी अच्छा लगे कहीं से देन वी शुड ट्राई टू पिक इट अप.
Yeah. Yeah.
What does a day in your life look like? Like, what do you do when you wake up to when you go to bed?
Okay.
Leave out
My
leave out the
usual.
part about brushing your teeth and bathing and stuff.
Yeah, actually my day kind of keeps changing क्योंकि I try to have a like ideal schedule for my day लेकिन फिर I kind of stick to it for like 2 weeks and 3 weeks फिर उसके बाद में फिर somebody comes visits me या फिर कभी late night हो जाता है तो it breaks and again like chasing the same schedule like kind of happens so I'll just go with the ideal schedule जो 3-4 हफ्ते के लिए चलता है तो that is like I wake up around 6:30 या 7 बजे के आसपास तो उसके बाद first thing I do is like go for a run or go to hit the gym जो कि आजकल नहीं कर रहा हूँ मैं and उसके बाद I come back freshen up and then I meditate for like 10 minutes and उसके बाद I read for like 15-20 minutes and उसके बाद I take an online course जो किसी भी चीज के लिए हो सकता है it could be like artistic या फिर design based या कुछ भी and उसके बाद that goes on for like 20 minutes 30 minutes के आसपास उसके बाद I have my breakfast and उसके बाद I get down to work like जो comic book का काम है and उसके बाद I work till like 5-6 उसके बाद थोड़ा सा फिर जो फोकस है वो शिफ्ट होने लगता है इधर उधर देन आई कुछ भी कर लेता हूँ फिर उसके बाद could be watching a show एक एपिसोड देख लिया या फिर रीड अ कॉमिक बुक या फिर प्ले थोड़ा गेम मोबाइल में वगैरह वगैरह या फिर go for a walk so it could be either of any of those things.
Okay,
Yeah.
two
And
questions.
उसके
Two questions. What course are you doing right now? Online courses you mentioned.
या एक्चुअली मैंने वो ब्रेक पे दिया हुआ है अभी बिकॉज मेरी तबीयत खराब हो गई थी बीच में एंड थोड़ा सा वो शेड्यूल भी वो हो गया था बट आई वाज डूइंग मार्को बुची का एक कोर्स है दैट इज कॉल्ड डिजिटल पेंटिंग सो
Okay.
आई एम रियली ट्राइंग टू लाइक इम्प्रूव माय कलरिंग वाला वर्क तो उसमें आई वाज या
Secondly, what games do you play?
I'm not much of a gamer. टाइम पास के लिए कभी कभी लूडो चेस खेल लेता हूँ या फिर एक ही जो पॉपुलर गेम है आई थिंक जो मैं खेलता हूँ दैट इज कॉल ऑफ ड्यूटी फोन पे
अच्छा अच्छा.
तो हाँ दैट्स इट बचपन में आई यूज्ड टू प्ले अ लॉट ऑफ गेम्स जो वो बेसिक सा गेम आता था सुपर मारियो खेलता था उसमें सुपर कॉन्ट्रा एंड ऑल दैट.
Nice. That's a very packed day actually and well planned also. Even if it doesn't go
Yeah.
exactly according to plan, it's still quite a packed day.
It's a constant chase actually क्योंकि I'm trying to like improve myself as a my day like कि productivity भी बनी रहे and I don't like overwork myself also. So yeah.
Do you use social
Yeah.
media for like art? Not generally social media, but social media for art as such. Like what kinds do you have?
I have like I'm on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. Twitter I don't use much. Twitter पे कभी कभार जो मेरे फेवरेट आर्टिस्ट हैं उनका काम देखने के लिए चला जाता हूँ एंड एक आध पोस्ट कर देता हूँ मे बी 2 हफ्ते में एक बार लाइक दैट. I'm mostly active these days on Instagram. रेगुलर स्टोरीज डालता हूँ आर्ट वर्क की एंड ऑल दैट, मेरे जो वर्क इन प्रोग्रेस वगैरह है दैट. एंड फेसबुक में मीम्स देखने के लिए चला जाता हूँ कभी कभार.
But generally for your work, where do you go? Like, do you have websites like, I don't know if Behance is a website. Is it a website?
I have
It is.
ArtStation. I have ArtStation.
ArtStation.
Correct.
Yeah, I was also active on DeviantArt for some time, but फिर वहाँ पे I don't know ज़्यादा traction मिलती नहीं है शायद, या वो I don't know, maybe it's dying or something. तो मैं ArtStation पे ज़्यादा वो है. So yeah.
I think we'll put the links in the description somewhere. I don't know where.
Yeah, that
But
would be helpful.
related to that, I had actually a question that I want to ask every artist. You have come across AI art, right?
Yeah.
What is your general impression of it? Do you think of it as a threat? Do you think it's going to help artists? Do you think it's going to help the industry? Is it going to be good for comics but bad for artists? What are your views?
Actually, my initial impression was like I was like kind of scared of it जब मैंने पहली बार देखा कि my God, you know, machine कर रहा है अब जो हम कर रहे हैं. तो उसके बाद I kind of researched a bit and all that. तो मेरे को पता लगा कि it was a general sentiment जब भी कोई नई चीज आई आर्ट इंडस्ट्री में, like digital art जब आया या फिर 3D models जब बनने लगे and all that. तो I feel कि ये भी कुछ उसी टाइप का हो सकता है. And I feel कि machines can never really replace creative works, creative jobs, क्योंकि I don't know, I don't think machines can ever like you know generate creativity, क्योंकि उनको कहीं ना कहीं से derive करना ही पड़ेगा, and it would be like a derivative of something that already exists. It like they can never really create something that is really original. वैसे हम में भी वो होता है, but I don't know, the way we will mix and match things and the flaws we will have in our work, I don't think machines can have all those things.
My point is that I know human beings who can never produce anything original. So so it doesn't really, like, मुझे याद क्या था पता है, you guys know Star Trek, right? Right, they have this thing called the holodeck where they go in and they say, computer, create a 16th century forest with a castle or something, create a Sherlock Holmes like setting.
Correct.
This is that happening for real finally. But even so, when I'm writing, like AI has also started writing, by the way. It has started writing basic copy, etc. So here's the thing that happens. AI written copy may be good for search engines. It may be good for basic web page filling. But when I'm reading a book, even like if I'm reading a book and the book makes perfect sense as fiction, as a beautiful story, I want to know that it came from a person's mind.
Yeah.
Because if I know that this book was generated by a machine, I will lose all interest. Yeah. So I think it's with art also. If you can create a beautiful painting, but the moment someone finds out that they're looking at something made by a machine, they lose all interest. Because they want to think that there is thought behind it, like their thoughts. Yeah.
It loses that novelty that has that man-made artwork has.
Yeah, I think we create art in order to communicate, right? So when someone is looking at art, they want to think that there is a message here. And when they think, when they find out it's generated, they know there is no message, they lose interest. पर मुझे तो गालियां भी पड़ी है. मैंने अपने इंस्टाग्राम पे AI आर्ट बना के डाला था. मुझे मतलब बहुत खतरनाक घटिया भाषा में गालियां पड़ी है. तुम आर्टिस्ट को बर्बाद करना चाहते हो. मतलब उल्लू के पट्टे में कॉमिक बुक इंडस्ट्री में काम करता हूँ. ये तुम्हारे काम आ सकता है. If you just use it for backgrounds, if you just use it for some basic stuff, it can be useful. But पता नहीं.
But my point is,
there are some artists that I know जो मतलब senior artists हैं, they are kind of like really pissed off with this,
losing their shit. Yeah. I don't expect much from them. I expect the young kids to understand and use this.
But here's the thing: if you're creating a piece of art, whether a computer creates it or a human creates it, and if somebody goes and looks at it and has a certain reaction to it, whoever has created it should not make a difference, right? Your reaction is what is important. As a consumer, it is your reaction, your visceral reaction to whatever is there on screen. That's important. It doesn't matter who's created it. So I don't see how that's wrong in any way. It's not wrong.
See, I'll tell you this. I mean, this is an interview of Tadam, obviously, but I still want to butt in and ruin his time here.
Correct.
But here's the thing. A machine generates a piece of art.
Fine.
An artist creates a piece of art.
Correct.
The artist created something which has intention behind it.
Right.
Even if the person looking at both the pieces can't tell which one has intention behind it,
Correct.
when they find out, it will matter. Now, it is entirely possible for the machine to create 5 pieces of art and for a human to put those 5 pieces of art in order. And at that point, it becomes intentional because the human being decided to do it. I don't know, maybe we are thinking like this because we are products of this age where there's a difference between human-made art and machine-made art. Maybe in the future, the difference will not be so clear. Maybe machines will be sentient and then that will count as intelligence or intention.
My point is, shouldn't your reaction be authentic? Is it not your, like, if you read a piece of fiction and it's brilliant and you like it, but then you find out it's written by a machine, how will that make a difference? Your reaction is authentic. The way you have reacted to it, the way your visceral reactions to it are authentic. I don't see.
I agree with you. Yeah.
How it should matter whether a computer wrote it or a person wrote it. It could be both. I mean, there could be a person who's written a piece of art. There could be a computer who's written a piece of art, and both are great pieces of fiction, or great pieces of art, or great pieces of whatever. Or food that's made by machines. Why is that not like a chef might say, I don't like a machine making food for me, whereas a person who's eating it might still say it's great. It's food.
But look at it this way. People do make a distinction between chef-made food and fast food.
Right. They should not. If it,
I think it comes down to personal preference again. Like some people might like the human touch, and to some it might not make a difference. So
I think we are biased. I think all three of us are going to be biased about this because we are artists. We have a severely large stake in treating art as art, and human intention matters and all that. We are not objective observers. But Tadam, if I can ask you, the older artists who you spoke of, who have a problem with it, what are they afraid of?
They mostly think that AI is kind of plagiarizing their work, like taking
it kind of
stuff
is.
from here and there, and like the guy who is like typing all those keywords, he isn't crediting them, or the AI isn't crediting them, the original creators. So even I personally have a problem with that. Like, if I see like my work is like heavily amalgamated into something, but still like there is stuff that I have created. So I will have a problem with that as well. So yeah.
No, this is, I think, an intermediate stage. It will pass eventually. But I did notice that if I open an AI art generator and I type a bunch of keywords and it doesn't give me what I want, and then I type ArtStation style, right? Then it gives me something that I do think, hey, this looks like that and stuff. And I've even on one occasion found that AI give me an exact copy of a photograph with just slightly different colors.
I recently saw an AI artwork that was done on Midjourney, I think. So there's this photo, right? I don't know what's it called. That guy, that lady with like red shawl and beautiful eyes, I don't know.
The
It's a
Afghan
very
woman.
famous photo. That one. Yeah. So the AI like replicated the same photo. Like, I don't know what were the keywords, like the photo, like you could tell, like, this is just a copy of the same
Sometimes
thing.
It's very easy to tell. Yeah. Which makes it suspect. But yeah, we can move on from the topic. I think इस वीडियो के नीचे गालियां तो आने वाली है पक्का. बूढ़े आर्टिस्ट की गालियां आने वाली है.
बूढ़े आर्टिस्ट हमारा वीडियो नहीं देखते. हमारा वीडियो कोई भी नहीं देखता.
मैं देखता हूं.
That's very heartening for Tadam. I have come to spend some time on this podcast, which nobody is going to watch.
No, मेरा नाम देख के आएंगे लोग अब.
हाँ, बिल्कुल.
Actually, yes.
No, seriously, your name actually does get views.
It does, yes.
Okay, I'm glad to know that.
Yeah. Why do you think we invited you?
Tadam,
Ashwin Kabari.
what do you like drawing? What do you not like drawing? Like if you had a certain distinction in your art, like you really like drawing these things, like you really like drawing horses, or you really like drawing maybe a certain kind of modern art or whatever, and what do you really hate?
I really like drawing characters. Backgrounds are always a hassle for me. Like, but time lagana padta hai, and you need to find like, proper angle, proper perspective, and then you go on and plan the perspective thing and add a lot of details. So backgrounds are like always a chore for me, and characters are fairly easy. But I also feel कि हाँ जो चीज easy है वो करते रहेंगे तो how will I grow like as an artist? So yeah, I tend to like deliberately draw backgrounds जहाँ पे नहीं हो तो भी चलेगा. तो क्योंकि मैं सोचता हूँ कि हाँ चलो मुश्किल है, मजा नहीं आ रहा, बट फिर भी let's put myself through some I don't know trouble and yeah.
So
So
I've actually seen Tadam's art, like when he was drawing a comic that I wrote. The art was nice; it wasn't bad. But when I see his art on your book, which is years later, and then when I see his art on further on books, it's like, why did he draw my comic first? He could have done that better. He's basically grown a lot. He's evolved a lot over time, which is good.
Can you imagine what I go through when I look at Ravana in issue 1 and Ravana in issue 10? It happened over such a long period of time. Vivek Goel became another artist altogether, whose work could not be recognized.
Yeah. I think Tadam has done a really good job drawing whatever he's drawing and working on whatever he's working. I think he's still evolving, but that's good. I mean, he's already got to a position where it's like really good. I don't know what else to say.
What will he evolve into next? This is like a Pokemon show.
Actually, I remember like back when I was in my hometown only, I hadn't moved to Delhi and all that. So मेरी एक बार आर्टिस्ट हैं अभिषेक मलसूनी जी, उनसे बात हुई थी. So like उन्होंने काफी गाइड किया था मेरे को. तो एक बार फोन कॉल पे मेरी उनसे बात हुई थी, पहली बार बात हुई थी. एंड ही टोल्ड मी अबाउट BFA एंड ऑल दैट. मेरे को इतना पता नहीं था कि फाइन आर्ट्स का डिग्री होता है एंड ऑल दैट. तो दैट टाइम ही मेंशन्ड वन थिंग कि if you don't evolve as an artist, if you don't like keep practicing and incorporating new stuff into your work, then एक stagnation आ जाता है. So you need to like keep adding new stuff and keep learning new stuff, क्योंकि हमारी जो visual vocabulary होती है that is limited. तो हमें नई चीजें हमेशा एक्सपीरियंस करते रहना है, देखते रहना है, प्रैक्टिस करते रहना है, तभी we can like churn out new stuff from ourselves. तो वो चीज मेरे साथ रह गई बहुत. आई फील अब भी मैं जब भी मैं सोचता हूँ कि आर्टिस्टिकली क्या क्या करना है, तो आई ऑलवेज थिंक कि हाँ, हाउ विल आई ब्रिंग समथिंग न्यू इन माय वर्क, हाउ विल आई इनकॉर्पोरेट समथिंग न्यू इन माय वर्क. तो वो चीज हैज ऑलवेज बीन लाइक रेडार टू मी, लाइक जो मेरे को गाइड करती है किधर जाना है एंड ऑल दैट. या
Nice.
And I would like to like give a shout out to Abhishek Malsoni bhaiya as well. Like he has been such a there are a lot of people with Abhi unka naam hai, so I would like to give him a shout out. Yeah.
Nice.
It's always very tricky, right? You remember someone who's very influential, you give them a shout out, and then you think, oh shit, there are 50 people who are going to be offended because I did not give them a shout out.
Your past, what kind of an impact has your past had on your art? Your life.
I don't know.
Yeah, I would be particularly interested in like where you come from, the culture that you grew up in. What kind of a role has that had in your art?
I would say कि my life has been quite sheltered when I was growing up. So I like गांव से हूँ, तो we didn't have those summer vacation वाली trips कि हाँ कहीं parents लेके जा रहे हैं. All that I never went out of like I think मैं high school तक मेरे hometown से बाहर ही नहीं निकला. And yeah, so I don't know, जो भी थी चीजें बचपन में, a typical गांव का लड़का and having fun with my friends, जंगल में घूमो जाके, मधुमक्खी के छत्ते तोड़ो and chase all the cows, उनके पीठ पे चढ़ने के लिए and कहीं pond पे चले जाओ नहा लो, नदी में चले जाओ नहा लो and all that. That was the kind of life that I lived and like growing up. उसके बाद फिर बाहर निकला तो like everything kind of changed. So I I'm not quite sure कि कितना impact मेरे काम पे वो लाता है, but I have always been a fan of like fantasy. तो मेरे को वो medieval era का जो sword and sorcery type का की चीजें बहुत पसंद थी बचपन से ही. So I I don't know. I'm kind of not really answering the question, I think, but
No, you
I
are,
always
you
kind
are.
of
Yeah.
You kind of are, because like the kind of work, the line that you're in, it
Mhm.
probably does not offer you much scope to explore your madhumakhi ka chatta or gaay ka, right?
Yeah,
One of these
yeah,
days, a comic book. Listen, we need a superhero who got
uh-huh,
bitten by madhumakhis, and then he
yeah.
fell on a cow and he grew like strange powers. And Tada will be like, "This is what I've been waiting for my entire life."
Yeah. So yeah, so sword and sorcery type का stuff I really like to draw. But वैसा कुछ ऐसा कोई project आया नहीं अब तक इतना.
Hmm.
Yeah, I hope someday, maybe, I don't know, Conan draw करने को मिले, क्या पता.
Is there a character, by the way, is there a character franchise that you think इसको draw कर लिया मतलब bucket list के ऊपर से एक item हट जाएगा? Like, do you have anything in
Yeah,
that list?
many actually. There's Batman for sure, and yeah, there's Wolverine. I would also like to draw Spiderman, but I don't know मेरा style Spiderman को कितना suit करेगा. But I don't know, शायद तब तक जब मैं ready हो जाऊंगा तब तक मेरा style उस तरह से evolve कर लूंगा मैं कि Spiderman draw कर पाऊँ अच्छे से.
Spider-Man India बना रहे हैं.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. हाँ, तो those three, like, are there. Also, I would also like to work a little bit more on Raj Comics के characters. एक पर्सनल कनेक्शन है बचपन का उनसे, तो
Yeah,
ध्रुव एंड नागराज एंड डोवा एंड ऑल दैट मैंने बनाया तो है, बट आई फील कि तब आई वाज लाइक रियली स्टार्टिंग आउट एंड ऑल्दो दैट वर्क इज रियली क्रूड. सो आई फील कि अब जाके थोड़ा सा और आया है, तो आई वुड लाइक रियली लाइक टू लाइक have another go on those characters.
How do you draw your art? Is it completely digital? Is it pen and paper almost entirely? Or I know you color digitally, but I don't know about your actual drawing process.
Well, actually, मेरा काम बिल्कुल ही वो है, बहुत random है. I sometimes I draw fully digitally also. Sometimes I draw like fully on paper, and sometimes I go for a hybrid method.
Correct.
These days, like जो comic pages में draw कर रहा हूँ, I'm going for a hybrid method, जिसके लिए pencils and layouting and all that I do digitally, because it's easier. Like उन stages में कोई changes आते हैं तो change करने के लिए digital में. But inking के लिए I take a printout of those like digital pencils. उसके बाद paper पे I ink. So that gives me like the joy of both mediums,
Yeah, must be fun. Must be fun.
Yeah.
It's like writing, taking a printout, and then writing on the sheet of paper in the margins. So the notes are going to be like, I'm pretending that I share some kind of experience, but no, it's not the same thing, obviously.
Yeah.
Do you use photo references for your art, or like have you moved past that point where you don't need photo references anymore?
No, I use references all the time, and there's another artist जिनको मैं बहुत respect करता हूँ, that's Sumit Kumar भैया, and he's like वो भी काफी यूज करते हैं रेफरेंसेस का. सो ही सजेस्टेड कि कोई भी चीज है ड्रॉ कर रहे हो ना, देयर इज नो हार्म. और लाइक मेरे को पहले लगता था कि अरे मैं तो देख के बना रहा हूँ, मेरे को क्या बनाना नहीं आता, व्हाट काइंड ऑफ एन आर्टिस्ट आई एम. तो उन्होंने अच्छे से क्लैरिफिकेशन दिया था मेरे को कि देयर इज नो हार्म इन टेकिंग रेफरेंसेस, एज लॉन्ग एज लाइक यू आर लाइक ड्रॉइंग इट इन योर ओन वे, ऐसे करके, एंड यू आर लाइक यूजिंग इट एज अ reference, not like just picking it up and putting it in your artwork. So yeah, so I use references all the time.
By the way, do you know what can be a great source of reference images? AI art. AI art.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it can
Mhm.
like even if it like if you just need a color scheme, inspiration, or some kind of
Yep.
perspective
Mhm.
of is this location, it can serve as a
Mhm.
great example. You don't need to publish that
Ye-
art. You can just look at
Uh-huh.
it and draw your own thing, and that can get
Yeah,
great
yeah, yeah.
views.
Yeah, color combination के लिए I feel कि AI art is like really good because
Hmm.
suppose there's a concept artist who needs to get a concept done. तो
Hmm.
वो बस layouts और idea generation के लिए like AI use कर सकता है and suppose
Yeah.
his director or his clients like a particular AI generated art तो उसके
Hmm.
ऊपर base करके he can create his own thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that.
बर्बाद कर दिया मैंने, एक और आर्टिस्ट को बर्बाद कर दिया.
Whenever you say Sumit Kumar, I always think of the guy who did Ichhadari Tatti.
Yeah. So he was
Both are
he was
brilliant by the way in their own
yeah,
way.
yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
yeah.
So Amit Kumar is crowdfunding his Aapki Pujita animated series right now. He was on my show
Mm-hmm.
last evening with Adhiraj,
Mm-hmm.
and we had a nice conversation.
Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah.
You know this episode is not going up tomorrow, right? It'll
Whenever,
probably
whenever, who cares? I'm sure Aapki Pujita will be still around when then, whenever it happens.
I suppose.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Who are, we asked this, I think Vijayendra asked this to you before also, but who are your influences, not just singly, but generally which artists have you been influenced by? Like,
Uh,
not just
मेरे
comic books,
लिए
not just comic books.
uh-huh, uh-huh. मेरे लिए it has been like in parts like अलग-अलग phases में अलग-अलग artists से inspire हुआ मैं like initially as I have already mentioned Anupam Sinha ji was there and Raj Comics के जो अच्छे artist थे अच्छे artist क्या almost सारे ही अच्छे थे initial days में तो तो जो भी मतलब मेरे पसंदीदा आर्टिस्ट थे लाइक हेमंत कुमार जी इज देयर ललित कुमार शर्मा जी एंड मनु जी एंड सुरेश तिगवाल एंड दोज आर्टिस्ट तो उनसे काफी इंस्पायर हुआ था मैं शुरुआती दिन में फिर उसके बाद आई स्लोली मूव्ड अहेड एंड स्टार्ट लुकिंग एट अदर आर्टिस्ट एज वेल तो जब वेस्टर्न आर्टिस्ट जो मैंने पहला फॉलो किया था दैट वाज डेविड फिंच बहुत सारे लोगों ने उनको फॉलो किया था आई थिंक क्योंकि हिज स्टाइल इज काइंड ऑफ क्वाइट इजी टू अंडरस्टैंड यू नो आई फील तो उनके उनके बाद फिर आई मूव्ड अहेड एंड लुक्ड एट गैरी फ्रैंक्स आर्टवर्क अ लॉट फिर गैरी फ्रैंक के बाद तो चीजें बिल्कुल हैपजर्ड हो गई मेरे लिए इतने सारे आई वेंट तब उसके बाद मैंने आर्ट स्कूल ज्वाइन कर लिया था तो
अच्छा.
वहां पे बहुत सारे पेंटर्स के बारे में पता चला एंड जो मतलब अलग अलग पीरियड में थे मेनली जो रेनेसां पीरियड के आर्टिस्ट हैं लियोनार्डो एंड माइकलैंजेलो एंड ऑल दोस तो उनका काम मैंने बहुत देखा क्योंकि उनका ना बहुत रियलिस्टिक है और एनाटॉमी की अच्छी ग्रास्प है उनको तो उनके काम देखे मैंने फिर और भी हैं अब मैं नाम भूल रहा हूँ जब याद करने का टाइम आता है तो मैं नाम भूलता हूँ तो जो पेंटर्स हैं मेनली उनका काम मैंने देखा फिर उसके बाद वहां से थोड़ा सा वो किया तो जो क्लासिक अमेरिकन इलस्ट्रेटर्स हैं लाइक नॉर्मन रॉकवेल हो गए या जेसी लैंडेकर हो गए तो उनका काम मैंने देखना शुरू किया फिर कॉमिक बुक आर्ट आर्ट में जिम ली वाज ऑलवेज एन इन्फ्लुएंस आई थिंक बट आई डोंट नो हाउ मच ऑफ हिज स्टफ कैन बी सीन इन माय वर्क बट उनका काम भी बहुत देखता था एंड ली वीक्स हो गए एंड आई डोंट नो अभी नाम बताने लग जाऊंगा तो पूरा एपिसोड खत्म हो जाएगा करेंटली अभी करेंटली का बताता हूँ मैं करेंटली आई एम लुकिंग एट एल्बर्टो ब्रेकिया करके एक आर्टिस्ट हैं एंड उनकी एक कॉमिक है मॉड सिंडर तो वो लेट मी शो आई एक्चुअली मेरे पास रखी हुई है तो दिस बुक आई गॉट इट रिसेंटली तो ये ब्लैक एंड व्हाइट में है बिल्कुल
Mort Sender.
या सो
Nice.
ब्यूटीफुल इंक्स तो ये वाला आई एम स्टडीइंग एंड उसके अलावा दिस वेरी फेमस आर्टिस्ट एलेक्स टॉट करके हैं तो एलेक्स टॉट या टोथ प्रोनाउंस करते हैं शायद इसको TOTH तो या हिज वर्क आई एम लाइक यू नो हेवीली स्टडीइंग these days
He's a fantasy artist, right? Fantasy artist.
नहीं I think Alex Nino was a fantasy artist. Alex Todd जो थे I think he mostly worked in animation and comics.
Oh, okay.
हाँ
Okay.
yeah
how has pop culture influenced your art? Like general pop culture, have you been influenced
General,
at all, or you keep that separate?
actually, I like to keep like I'm a fanboy, pop culture का बहुत सारी चीजों का, but I don't know कि उसको मैंने अपनी personal life में कितना incorporate किया हो या कितना मैं actual में उसको life में real life में use करता हूँ, because yeah, I don't think ज़्यादा मतलब काम में तो ऑब्वियसली लाइक पॉप कल्चर है एंड सुपर हीरोज आर देयर एंड ऑल द स्टफ, तो वो कॉमिक बुक वर्क में एंड ऑल दैट उसमें हमेशा एक इन्फ्लुएंस तो रहता ही है, बट रियल लाइफ में आई डोंट थिंक ज्यादा उसका वो है मतलब टच है पॉप कल्चर का.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what are some projects that you're working on right now that you can tell us about?
Mainly I'm working on this one, जो बताया था मैंने, वोम, weapons of mass destruction, mass extinction. Yeah, so that one I'm working on mostly. उसके अलावा मेरे एक आध पर्सनल प्रोजेक्ट्स हैं जो प्लानिंग स्टेज में ही हैं अभी, तो उनमें मोस्टली काम कर रहा हूँ मैं, तो या उसके अलावा जो प्रैक्टिस का काम चलता रहता है मेरा रेगुलर, तो दैट या.
Okay.
What else do you do with your life? I know you're taking a training session for younger artists, but generally, what other additional work do you do that has some relation to art?
Additional work, कभी कभार I go out and do some live painting or drawing, real life से that, but वो पहले बहुत करता था कॉलेज के टाइम पे, उसके बाद से थोड़ा बहुत कम हो गया अब तो. उसके अलावा I don't think उसके अलावा I do much because I watch a lot of movies and shows. वो है and yeah.
What have you been watching recently?
I'm watching Cabinet of Curiosities by Guillermo del Toro.
Okay.
I don't think Vijay likes it a lot.
I haven't seen it. How would I know? I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
I've been kind of cutting down on my watching, but I haven't got into Cabinet of Curiosities. I've heard it's good, but I will.
Yeah, that as well as also simultaneously कभी कभार मतलब देख लेता हूँ वो Big Bang Theory. So I have been watching that for a long time now. अब खत्म होने वाला है last season पे.
अच्छा.
You still haven't finished watching it?
No, actually धीरे धीरे देख रहा हूँ बहुत. एक पेज खत्म
When did
कर
you
दिया
start?
Honestly, I don't remember when did I start it.
So you've been watching for years?
Not really. Actually, इसी साल start किया था. I think it was around in Feb or I'm not sure actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rings of Power देखा? Rings of Power, Andor या फिर House of the Dragon?
House of the Dragon, I have seen 5 episodes. उसके बाद में the episodes were kind of getting too long for my break time. एक घंटे का, and so I felt कि थोड़ा काम कर लेता हूँ. Once I finish like a big chunk of my work, then I'll watch all the episodes like all together. Rings of Power के लिए भी same वही था, but that honestly that show did not really grab my attention. Like तो 2 episodes देखे मैंने उसके, and I thought कि इसको बाद में देखेंगे.
Okay.
Over time, have you seen your art change in any way? Obviously it has changed, but how have you experienced the change, or how has the art changed you?
I think I have become more open-minded to different styles.
Okay.
पहले मेरे को बस वही realistic style हो, and beautiful faces and beautiful lines, तो वो मतलब अच्छा लगता था. फिर उसके बाद से I think I have grown a bit artistically, तो अब I'm more open to different styles and different approaches. Like अब मैंने recently Mouse पढ़ी, Art Spiegelman की, तो yeah, I love that book. So I think अगर आज से 2-3 साल पहले मेरे को कोई वो किताब देता तो मैं बोलता क्या कचरा है ये, फेंको इसको. तो yeah.
अच्छा.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that way I have grown. Like I can like understand comic art, especially like a lot more than I used to.
Right.
Yeah.
Tadam, is there something you dislike about the comic scene in India?
I think, well, obviously there are pros and cons everywhere. So, Indian comic scene mein, I feel ki the fandom could be like, jo fan community hai, they could be a little more sparing to the
Supportive.
creative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Like,
less entitled.
इतना entitled तो I won't go as far as that कि उनको entitled बोलूं, but I feel कि they could be a little more kinder to the creatives because it's a small community and creatives का a lot of creatives are like struggling and doing a lot to like keep Indian comics alive. तो आई थिंक थोड़ा सा हमारे पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से भी अगर चीजें सोचे एंड ऑल दैट तो दैट वुड बी नाइस. उसके अलावा कॉमिक्स इन जनरल बनाने के लिए आई समटाइम्स आई हेट दैट I took up this profession, but अब पीछे भी नहीं जा सकता because of the dedication it requires to like make a comic book. आप ले तो लेते हो कि हाँ 100 पेज का कॉमिक बुक है एंड बट यू ड्रॉ लाइक फर्स्ट 10 पेजेस, उसके बाद में आपकी हिम्मत जवाब देने लगती है एंड उसके बाद यू नो उसके बाद you just drag yourself and so it's like ups and downs always making a comic book.
What other profession could you possibly go towards? Like if you had not been an artist, what would you have been?
At one point I was going like I was considering joining the police department. My dad wanted me to like join either defense wala ya फिर police में. He wanted yeah, he was not very happy that I became an artist.
This actually tells us a lot about what Tadam thinks of the police. He's like, आर्ट में बहुत कमिटमेंट की जरूरत पड़ती है ना. पुलिस इज अ डिफरेंट मैटर. यू डोंट नीड कमिटमेंट फॉर इट. यू कैन जस्ट डू पुलिस फॉर गैस ही.
No, I feel कि सब jobs में obviously pros and cons होते हैं, but I feel कि जो the drive to like stick to a project इतना तो मुझे नहीं लगता पुलिस डिपार्टमेंट में होता होगा because
हमें सामने like the cops have committed to writing 100-page FIR, and after writing the first 10 pages they're like creative writing course करना चाहिए था.
I hope cops don't get offended और यहाँ पे मेरे को आ जाए अरेस्ट करने के लिए जो अगर if some cop is like watching it so
I'm sure no cops are watching this. I'm 100% sure of this.
I'm safe.
Only criminals watch our show and they will all agree with you.
Okay, well, what is the thing you like about them
about
the Indian comic scene, about the Indian comics consumer?
I think जो कौन है इसमें वही प्रो की तरह काम कर रहा है because the industry is so small that we know almost everyone and it's आजकल मैं देख रहा हूँ जो भी the newly launched publishers उनमें ना एक सेंस ऑफ फ्रेटर्निटी बहुत अच्छा है. आई हैव सीन वो एक दूसरे को सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं, प्रमोटिंग ईच अदर्स बुक्स. आई थिंक दैट्स रियली काइंड एंड जनरस ऑफ देम एंड रियली नाइस ऑफ देम. मैं उसको बहुत अप्रिशिएट कर रहा था. अभी हाल ही में चीज बर्गर कॉमिक्स ने एक कंपटीशन अरेंज किया तो उसमें चीज बर्गर कॉमिक्स ने अपनी तरफ से प्राइजेस तो रखे ही रखे बट साथ में many publishers came on board and they gave prizes from their own end as well. Like so I don't know that's like I really felt happy to see that कि हाँ ऐसा भी हो रहा है.
Yeah, that's always a nice feeling. But if I can ask, if I can ask one thing about something you mentioned just a little bit before, when you say that you wish the fan community was more supportive, can you give us an example of a time when you felt that they could be but they were not? Like, have you received abuse or hate or bullying?
Not me, but मैंने personally ऐसा सीधे तो face नहीं किया, but yeah, I keep an eye out जो भी मतलब ग्रुप्स में कैसा वो चल रहा है, रिएक्शन चल रहा है न्यू कॉमिक्स को लेके या क्या बातें चल रही हैं. तो there are people like वैसे तो जो लोग हैं I think I don't know if they really buy the comic books or not जो मतलब थोड़ा सा negative हो रहे हैं but लोग हैं जो मतलब सीधे पेज रेट कैलकुलेट कर रहे हैं पब्लिशर कितना प्रॉफिट बना रहा है so I think that is not really
Yeah.
necessary. Nobody is becoming a crorepati making comics or so इतना वो करने की क्या जरूरत है somebody is calculating कि हाँ ये अगर आर्टिस्ट को इतना 400-500 रुपया एक पेज का दिया एंड कलरिस्ट को दिया इतनी लागत आएगी कॉमिक्स बनाने में इतनी सेल्स होगी तो पब्लिशर को इतना प्रॉफिट हुआ वाह they are
Yeah.
making lakhs out
They
of
think
like
that everything is like
yeah
mathematically precise. They
yeah
make a major mistake when they assume कि ये इतना पैसा लेता होगा उतना लेता होगा. B, they
yeah
think money is not lost on distribution, books are not lost, shipping costs don't go up and down. So there's a whole
yeah
lot of shit. जब मैं
yeah
ये रिमेम्बर जब हम लोग बचपन में राज कॉमिक्स पढ़ते थे तो उसमें एक लेटर्स पेज होता था. So people will
mm-hmm.
write letters कि अच्छा इस पेज के इस पैनल पे ये क्यों हुआ, ये तो ऐसे भी हो सकता था. And the
हाँ
writer will
हाँ
say ये ऐसे हुआ क्योंकि मैंने ऐसे लिखा था. That's why it happened. I don't know what you are asking me about. All this is fictional.
हाँ
None of it actually
mm-hmm.
happened. And
Mm-hmm.
then Facebook came and people like me thought, okay, so more open debates, discussions will happen. This is a great thing for
Mm-hmm.
comics. And now I am of the opinion that some people should not have opinions. Just quietly read the comic and sit at home.
Yeah. So yeah, that one वो ऐसे पोस्ट आए थे तो that was like really disheartening for me. मेरे को बहुत बुरा लगा था देख के कि हाँ people are like इतना
Hmm.
कैसे सोच सकते हैं. उसके अलावा some people are I have seen कि there are people who are biased as well. वो लोग प्रोडक्ट को नहीं देखते वो लोग the people behind the product उनको देखते हैं उसके बेस पे वो लोग like they review the product. So I also don't think कि that is like necessary because अगर अगर आपको अगर आप कोई कॉमिक बुक खरीद रहे हैं तो just review it based on the merits or
Merit of
demerits
the
of the
book
book.
only. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you mean? What do you mean when you say they look at the people? Like if they have personal dislike for someone, they will give it a bad review.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, also have seen कि they not only review like give bad reviews to the book, they also go on other people's posts and say bad thing about that particular book या फिर publisher. Like so that is like crossing a line. I feel
Yeah.
कि
Those are the
अगर
just
अगर
sad
आप
people. The pitiable people. They have so little going on
yeah
in their own lives that they have to take time out in order to make someone else's life miserable, which is just another level of
yeah
uselessness.
Yeah. So yeah, I feel कि those people can just take a chill pill if you don't really want to read a comic book. तो मत पढ़िए, but you can spend your money elsewhere.
Yeah.
जहाँ जो comic आपको पसंद आती है, but at least you don't really need to
Yeah.
say bad words about
It's like
those.
I don't like this publisher. I hated the first 5 books they published, but I will spend money on the 6th book. I will be disappointed, and then I'll tell the whole world that I'm disappointed, and then say that I'm waiting for the 7th one in hopes that I will not be disappointed. These are the true
Yeah.
fans, really. Angry but true fans.
Yeah.
Please take my money so that I can blame you that you took my money.
I think some of these people they don't really read the books. They just like without reading the books they go on and give bad reviews to those books because they don't like the publisher or they don't like the writer or something. So yeah, I think that's way too much. हाँ अगर आप खरीद के पढ़ रहे हैं तो yeah you have every right to be you have every right to criticize the हाँ लेकिन वो फिर constructive हो एक अच्छे manner में हो तो yeah.
I think once you bought the book, it gives you the right to say whatever you want about the book. I mean, it doesn't give you the right to go everywhere else and say loudmouth your this thing, but at least it gives you.
No, they have the right. They have the right. It's just, but we also have the right to call them assholes for it.
No, that like I agree कि हाँ अगर they are buying the book and they are reading the book, then they can form their own opinion and they can like वो लोग publicly उसको बोल भी सकते हैं, but there should be a line कि हाँ आप कैसे बोलोगे and all that ना. You can't just go outright I don't know using bad words and all that. So
and also if their assessment is based not on the merits of the book, then we have the right to say that your assessment is bullshit. It's not based on the merits of the book. If you are criticizing the story or the art, without looking at the book, then why would anyone take your criticism seriously?
Yeah.
And I also get the feeling that there might be like, some people might be motivated by reasons other than just the book. Like, एक पब्लिशर किसी को पैसे देके बोला जाके उसके बुक के ऊपर बैड रिव्यू लिख के आया, वैसे भी हो सकता है.
I don't think any publisher has that kind of money.
Oh, we have such publishers. Trust me, we have such publishers.
Okay.
Have you had a creative block ever in your life?
Oh, I have those all the time, and people around me, like they get burned because of that, because उनको फिर feel होता है कि हाँ, I'm not my usual self. I'm usually I feel कि I'm usually very cheerful and बहुत हंस के and all that बातें करता हूँ, मजाक मस्ती करता हूँ. But when I'm like going through an art block, then I don't know, I become very bitter. Not कि I will be rude or something, but I won't be my usual self and all that. So that मेरे लिए तो वो phase बहुत tough रहता है, but thankfully it doesn't last like more than 2-3 days. So yeah, that is a time for me to like catch up on all the books that I haven't read or all the shows or movies that I have missed. तो सब कुछ छोड़ छाड़ के मैं वही करता हूँ.
Yeah. Ashwin, do you have any creative blocks?
I have lots of creative blocks. Almost all the time, I only have creative blocks.
Ashwin,
no, other than
Ashwin has built houses using his creative blocks.
Okay, Ashwin, like since you're a writer, like other than external blocks to your process, like do you also face like internal blocks like myself?
I don't think I have external blocks at all. I think all the blocks are
okay.
It's just that I can't write. I don't write, and I find the rest of my life now. I don't really think of it as a problem. It's just time out from writing. And
yeah. Even I have noticed, like when I overwork myself, or like I have not like I have not really been disciplined about my work. तब जाके मेरे को ना ऐसे ज़्यादा I'm more prone to like having blocks like this.
Correct.
By the way, what about you, Vimoh? Like, do you face writer's block like that?
Yeah. No, right. As in, I just tell myself I'm being lazy and I force myself to sit down and I write. So I don't have a block. Like, there are days on which writing is more difficult, and then there are days where writing just flows. I try to turn those days into each other. Like, my goal is to write a certain number of words every day. Some days it's going to be extremely easy. Some days it's going to be hard, but I don't let that stop me from sitting down and writing. I just write every day, regardless of whether I have a block or not.
I need to learn that, because जब भी मेरे को block होता है तो I find it extremely difficult for like to draw anything, and I'm like always frustrated. Whatever I'm drawing, I don't like it, and I just feel like ये paper को
I
जला
tell
दो,
myself that
फेंक
it doesn't matter if I like it or not. What matters is this many words on paper every day. Some days the words are going to be good, some days they're going to be bad, but just it's purely a matter of routine and discipline.
Yeah,
if the routine breaks, if I say I'll write this many words every day and then I skip 2 days, it becomes very hard to come back to it. So I just I treat that routine as sacred.
Yeah, I need to be kinder to myself, I think, in that
doesn't matter how many
like
I think a good way for all artists to do this is to just say ki, I have a goal of doing this much every day. I will do it. Even if this is the shittiest art I've ever made, I'll sit down and make something. I'll make stick figures. But this time I'll sit and draw. Just do that.
Yeah. In my case, I feel
advice.
Yeah, in my case, I feel कि I'm kind of very egoistic about my work. कि हाँ, अगर मेरे को नहीं पसंद आ रहा है तो I just feel like throwing it away and not doing it all and just going to the bedroom and sulking all day. So
yeah. It feels terrible on days where you can't produce anything. It feels terrible. So I solve that problem by just making something and putting it out. I tell myself I can either be egoistic or I can be productive. I choose productive.
Like for the past 3 months or something, I'm supposed to write a script for Bullseye Press, right? For the past 3 months, I have not written anything. Like I've just sat around doing nothing, sitting in front of the computer and looking at other websites.
But you were not even home, right?
I was home. The 3 months before that, I couldn't write. I haven't written a single word for them. And then I was supposed to go out of town. And I said, you know what? Now I'm just going to write whatever comes in my mind. And I wrote something in like 1 month. Not even 1 month. In like 2.5 weeks, I wrote and sent it out to them, and I included that in the script, that this is a really shitty script and it's not very nice. You might as well whatever. So I think
they'll put that in the forward. Yeah, our writer says this is a really shitty book. Please pick it up and buy it. And I'm especially looking at you, angry reviewer number 1, 2, 3. I'm waiting for your angry review. And then he's doing math. इस स्क्रिप्ट के लिए तो 2 रुपए लिया होगा उसने. So 2 रुपया per page, total 10 रुपया.
So Tadam, when you're about, let's say when you're, I won't say 50 now because I'm getting to 50, but when you're 60 and 70 and something, and when you look back on life, what's that one thing you would have liked to have accomplished? ये मैंने किया, ये हो गया मेरा life. अब आगे जो भी करना है वो additional है. That kind of feeling.
Actually, I'm not really sure. I'm pretty happy with my life right now. Yeah, obviously there are some ambitions and all, तो but I feel कि वो चलो हो गए तो ठीक है. Otherwise, I just need to have a life that is full and I'm enjoying the present. तो अगर हाँ वैसी लाइफ मैंने जी ली and I'm in my 60s, like you know I'm ready to retire and all that, तो I would be happy कि हाँ चलो मेरा ये मन था करने का, मैंने वो कर लिया. तो that kind of thing. And ऐसी कोई specific चीज नहीं है. मेरे को कोई गाड़ियों का या मोटरसाइकिल वगैरह का कोई शौक नहीं है. I just need to have I just want to have a like peaceful house, छोटा सा घर हो, and I'm spending my time with my family. So that's all I want.
Are you
I don't know. शायद when I cross 30, 40 में हो जाऊंगा तो maybe क्या पता change हो जाए. और
if you don't mind me asking, Tadam, how old are you right now?
I was going to ask, are you in your 20s?
No, I'm 25. I turned 25 like in August. So
no, the kind of thoughts that you just shared with us are mid-30 thoughts.
No, 25 is also fine for him. He's like, I don't have to.
I suppose, yeah. He's mature for his age. He looks very wise. We were fucking idiots.
Or?
Yeah. Still I am kind of. No, but my like he has a kind of equanimity about life that I didn't have at 25, definitely.
I think my outlook on life comes from my grandpa. I have spent a lot of time with him, and bachpan se we used to discuss all sorts of topics from politics to religion to like spirituality and the way you live your life and all that. So I remember whenever I go home, then I would go with a topic like I since he's in his 70s I think abhi, तो उन्होंने काफी कुछ देखा, तो I try to like gain some wisdom from him. So and he's like the most I don't know if that is the right word, self-contained person I know. He's like he doesn't really have a lot of कैसे बोलो needs, like ये लेना है या वो लेना है or that kind of thing. So he's really self-content and happy. So I want to like I see myself that way when I'm like older, या अभी से कोशिश करता हूँ कि हाँ I should be self-content, but yeah there should be personal growth, but ऐसा भी नहीं कि that should like take away my happiness of the present moment. Yeah,
that's a good outlook to have in life.
Ashan, what is your outlook on life?
My outlook is just make sure my kids are okay. That's all I need, right?
Yeah, that's a good outlook.
Yeah, I feel कि एक point पे जाके when like you are a married man and have kids and all that, so I think even मेरा भी शायद हो जाए वैसा, I don't know, क्योंकि lately I have been thinking about that a lot, and I feel कि जैसे जितने लोगों से मैंने who are parents, my friends, कुछ की शादी हो गई है and एक आध बच्चे भी हो गए हैं, तो उनसे I ask कि how do you feel now that you are a parent, you have a child to take care of, so they say कि the rest of the things they don't really matter much. Only the safety and well-being of my child, like that matters. So I don't know, since I'm not a father yet, so I don't know how much I can understand that, but maybe शायद जब हो जाऊंगा, कभी हुआ तो सौभाग्य प्राप्त हुआ तो.
Up till now, out of all your work that you've done, what are you most proud of? I mean, it's obvious it's going to be the latest thing that you're working on, but other than that, What are you most proud of?
I think I have done a really good job in Codename Alpha.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know that ऐसा कुछ होता है ना कि there are some books that are really close to your heart and all that. तो Codename Alpha में I feel कि there was this right balance that मेरे को इतनी चीजें आती थी जो मैं कर पाया स्टोरी में, क्योंकि उससे पहले the stories I have done like Vimoh story I have done and your story I have done, so उनमें मेरे को लगता था कि like I need to learn more जो जिससे मैं राइट जस्टिस कर पाऊँ स्टोरी के साथ में, एलिमेंट्स को अच्छे से ड्रॉ कर पाऊँ. बट इन कोडनेम अल्फा लाइक देयर इज ऑब्वियसली रूम फॉर इम्प्रूवमेंट, बट आई फेल्ट कि मेरी तरफ से जो जितनी चीजें मैं करना चाहता था दैट आई हैव डन इट एंड डन इट टू अ सेटिस्फैक्टरी लेवल कि हाँ मैं उसको I could be like proud of that book. So not like I'm not proud of the other books that, but yeah.
They're both
Yeah.
learning curves. I guess that's good enough. I think that's a nice outlook to have. I'm assuming that 4 books later you'll have the same thing to say about the book that comes
Something
after.
else.
Yeah. So the next thing is like always exciting, and अभी जो हम book कर रहे हैं मैं और बिजॉय, तो we are trying to create a new world. So yeah, let's see. I hope I'm able to say the same thing जो Codename Alpha के लिए मैं अभी बोल रहा हूँ for my every subsequent book that I do.
Nice. Good work.
Yeah.
What are you most excited about in the future? Like आगे जो कर रहे हो, is there something that you're hoping to draw?
As in like work-wise or in my personal?
Work-wise.
Well, I'm really excited about the current book I'm doing. उसके बाद तो आगे कोई और प्लान नहीं है, मतलब I don't really know what I'll be drawing next. So ये वाली स्टोरी जो है बिजॉय के साथ कर रहा हूँ, एंड कोडनेम अल्फा के बाद एक अच्छा वो हो गया है, बॉन्डिंग हो गई है हम दोनों के बीच में. So it's an interesting world that he has churned up, he has written, and अब वो मेरे ऊपर है कि कैसे ड्रॉ करता हूँ उसको. So yeah, that's the thing I'm most excited about right now.
But is there something that you would like to draw in the future, like maybe a fantasy comic or maybe a science fiction comic or
he said na Batman and Wolverine.
वो सब
वो characters हैं, but genre के हिसाब से I would really like to draw something that is swords and sorcery type का. Medieval and damsels and muscular men and horses and I don't know बहुत सारी चीजें, witches as well. Yeah, so those
you should
kind of things.
Give it a contemporary spin. It instead of damsels in distress, it should be horses in distress, muscular damsels, and just men.
Yeah.
Horses in distress sounds like a great idea.
Also like मैंने पहले mention किया शायद, I'm also planning a creator own thing. So
you should. Everyone should. Everyone should. In fact, yeah.
Do you want to tell us something about it?
It's like in its nascent stage right now. So I don't know. जो भी मैं अभी बोलूँगा भी तो ना वो it could end up changing. Like तो कोई point नहीं है I think. And there's still time. I think 1-2 साल तो लगेंगे उसको आने में, और वैसे भी. So yeah.
So you mentioned Wolverine, Batman, and Spiderman. Are they your favorite superheroes, or are they something that you look forward to drawing? What?
Actually, मेरा कोई ऐसे super favorite superhero है नहीं. तो those 3 are like characters that I really find cool. Right. And Spider-Man तो Spider-Man actually मैंने comics पढ़ने से पहले वो Sam Raimi की Spider-Man देखी थी, तो from there like I'm a big fan, and so these 3 characters I find super cool and kind of relatable to myself. MCU से तो वैसे there's Captain America is there, but I don't know, I haven't read a lot of his comic books, so मेरे को पता नहीं कि how much I would enjoy drawing his comics. So yeah.
Okay. Are there any comics that you really like not specific to a genre or not specific to a superhero, but are there specific comics that you like a lot?
India से या फिर कहीं से भी?
कहीं से भी. Why don't you say India and abroad?
Okay. Actually बहुत सारी comics है जो बट आई यूजुअली these days मैं सुपर हीरो कॉमिक्स में बहुत ज्यादा वो नहीं हो रहा हूँ बिकॉज दे आर रियली हार्ड टू फॉलो और ऑल
Right.
दैट. तो मैं आई प्रेफर इमेज से जो क्रिएटर ओन कॉमिक्स आती हैं क्योंकि दे आर लाइक शॉर्ट. आई लाइक स्टोरीज विद अ डेफिनेट एंडिंग
Correct.
जिसमें एक एंडिंग हो तो उस टाइप की लाइक 12 इश्यूज का एक सीरीज हो गया मिनी सीरीज मैक्सी सीरीज हो गया या 24 इश्यूज हो गए उस
Correct.
टाइप का. तो या इमेज से ओके जब भी मैं कोशिश करता हूँ कि हाँ नाम बोलूं एक दे जस्ट डोंट कम. तो या मोस्टली इमेज स्टफ अगर आप बोले तो जो उनके पॉपुलर टाइटल्स हैं वो या.
Okay. Do you have any advice for beginner artists in India?
आई वुड से कि जो यूजुअली मैं बताता हूँ जो भी मेरे से पूछते हैं आई वुड से कि आप लोग अपना जो माइंड है उसको ओपन रखें. इफ यू वांट टू बिकम ए कॉमिक बुक आर्टिस्ट डोंट जस्ट थिंक कि या आई वांट टू मेक अ कॉमिक बुक आर्ट एंड मेरे को बस कॉमिक बुक आर्टिस्ट ही बनना
Yeah.
है. जस्ट थिंक ऑफ योरसेल्फ एज एन आर्टिस्ट एज अ होल लाइक यू नो. तो आप पेंटर्स का काम देखिए जो आई डोंट नो ग्राफिक डिजाइनर्स का भी काम देख सकते हैं उनसे भी कुछ इंस्पिरेशन ले सकते हैं एंड ऑल दैट. तो
Yeah.
आर्ट एज अ होल देखिए नॉट जस्ट कॉमिक बुक आर्ट देखिए.
Yeah. That's actually
Yeah.
good advice because this is something we spoke about earlier also, right? Like if someone is looking to be a fantasy writer or a science fiction writer, the books that they should be reading should be about how
Mhm.
governments work, how worlds work,
Correct.
how
Yeah,
weather
yeah.
systems work, etc.
Mhm,
Too many
mhm.
times I find people writing fantasy after reading fantasy, and
Correct.
their
Mhm.
work always ends up being so derivative, right?
Yeah,
Because they
yeah.
don't know how politics works. So it's the politics
Mhm.
of the book that they read. That's
Right.
all.
Yeah, yeah.
This is true. Do you do commissions, Tadam?
Yes, I do. Whenever, you know, I can have some time and, you know, comics projects ke beech mein and all that. I have some commissions that are pending since April. So,
बहुत ज्यादा हो गया वो तो.
uh, yeah. So, actually, commissions के लिए ना, I think कि I should really do my best. Not that बाकी projects में ना करूँ, but commissions में I like to put like extra effort because उनके पास वो original art जा रहा होगा.
Correct.
तो उसके लिए I need to like be mentally ready for that. तो I prefer कि मैं वो तभी करूँ जब like you know I'm in that zone. तो वो जोन देखते देखते बहुत टाइम हो गया वो कमीशन करने हैं. So before the year ends I'll definitely do those. I'll just make myself sit down and finish.
Yeah, discipline, man, discipline.
Yeah, I need that a lot. Yeah.
Nice.
Taram, do you have any social media handles that you would like people to connect with you on?
Yeah, I'm on Facebook and I'm on Instagram. Instagram में तदम में नाम है.
So
And
how do you
I'm
spell it?
on.
How do you spell it?
My name is Tadam. So Tadam में. So उसके लिए ना interesting सा logic है. So मैं is an English word that they use like you know MEH and मेरे वहाँ पे मतलब मेरे मम्मी के कम्युनिटी में like there is बिहार में बोलते हैं ना जैसे वाह ऐसे लगाते हैं जैसे आयुष हो गया तो आयुष वाह ऐसे बोलेंगे. तो मेरे वहाँ पे जैसे
मैं लगाते हैं.
मेरे नाम के आगे मैं लगाते हैं तदम में
अच्छा
like that they call me.
अच्छा अच्छा
So
अच्छा.
I thought
That
कि
sounds
हाँ
almost
that's an
Punjabi.
Tadam में? No.
yeah.
ओए तड़प में.
Yeah, that
So
does
your
actually.
Instagram handle is basically TADAM
Yes.
MEH.
MEH, yeah.
So there are two M's.
Yeah, there are two M's. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Should we end this thing? You want to say the?
Yeah, you should say like, share, subscribe. It's your channel, man.
What am I supposed to say?
Like, share, subscribe, and all. Thank you for watching. Like, share, subscribe.
Yeah. Thank you for watching, guys, and please do check out Ashwin's and Vimoh's channel, and please like, share, and subscribe.
Yes.
तब इतना फ्रस्ट्रेट हो गया कि इनको और 2 साल लगने वाले हैं. मैं ही बोल देता हूँ जल्दी से खत्म हो जाए. Thank you for watching, everyone. Bye bye.
Yeah, thank you.